Hello everybody, it's Dune. It's another episode of Factorio Megabase. I was offline for a couple of hours. There was a bug that I needed to find that there was actually an update available. I couldn't do big blueprints. It was just freezing the game, but now it's not. So, fantastic. So, while it was still buggy, I managed to finish the steel build that we were working on. But now I can actually finish it. I sort of put my train supplies off to the side. We're going to have to kind of move over this way. Tear apart some track so we can put down that fourth build. And it turns out I have sound coming out my desktop speaker, so let's switch that. Right. So the steel build is different from some of the other builds I've done. For one, I mean, it's kind of like I was talking about yesterday about making things simple by, bringing in one type and outputting another. And this one's a double phase one because it's going to have iron ore come in and steel flow out. If this works, I mean, I know it will work, but I mean, if it's simpler per se, then then we can maybe take these other ones and turn them into builds where it's simply iron ore coming in instead of training in, because we're training in iron ore from way out in this area to this iron post, and then iron plate flows to steel. So we're basically having track used twice for material. So I'm gonna delete that blueprint. I set up some things while offline because I semi unable to play. I guess it's probably the way of say that. I thought I was just going to come back on and maybe do some let's see, I need to remove some radar thing here. Okay. And just maybe set up some iron ore for this new steel, and so I wanted to be able to do that on stream. And we are going to do that, but now we can actually do the official, full 4 outposts that we were planning on building. And so hopefully I can remove that. Oh, shoot. Well, actually, that's okay. We have the name for this thing here. As soon as I walk over here and it gets placed, we can paste it down. Might have to switch armors for better power supply. Okay. So I'd set up this station here so that when these stations when these ones disable themselves, then this one would still be active. And we should be able to grab all the supplies And get it built. I might have some extra supplies because I did go back to base while I was trying to figure things out. I might have gotten, and then when I realized I needed to put some back on the train, came back and did that. But all in all, it's not going to be a big deal, as we'll just fix it. So I hope I have enough furnaces. Okay, I do. Yeah, we got enough productivity though. Maybe it's just these bots need to be charged up. We need to set that station and the station. Yeah, they should. The way I set these up, since having CYXW, these also in here for this, these won't activate until they have supplies, and once they have supplies they'll activate, and iron ore will just flow in. So this stands for steel iron ore unload. They'll just flow in and come to whatever bay first. They will be disabled as a train shows up, but for the moment I am not going to control what bay is active when. Only if a train's there will it get disabled, but these loading stations will only activate if steel is greater than M, and will deactivate if a train's there, and will stay activated once, you know, this turns to yellow. This turns to yellow, then we'll enable that. So. You know, I'm just thinking, I change that actually to yellow. Yellow equals 1. Because sometimes what happens is when the train pulls out, it reactivates, and that's because I have it as not green, so both yellow and red. But if we just make it yellow, then it's only when a train's on the way. Oops. I can blueprint that. And change it. So, you know, you can see it's green. I just do the blueprint and it changes to yellow. So, whenever that lights, this light up here is yellow, it'll be enabled. I need to check. Oh, these did get connected. I still want to do this one in here, like the bottom as well. Even though they are connected through the top, it's okay. Okay, so we need to do bots. And fuel. So I just need to put a requester chest down there. Hey, good morning, Breathless. And copy this one there to here. So bots will bring fuel, and these guys will have fuel. Iron, let's see, we are producing 238,000 per minute. So I'd say it's flowing. So I'm going to get this on the other side. I suppose we can go to there, but it's actually not going to work. Well, you can for a time, but for something else, I mean, for a while, something else is more in need. Let's label that guy. No. Now, I originally played it as vanilla, but I changed. Also, I would say that a couple things that changed my mind. Probably the first was, okay, I was originally filling in land to create bridges, but I'd use this mod on another game. It's called Beautiful Bridge Railway. Probably a better view is a side view. Let's get one where you can just build track, signals, and giant power poles on water. So it's probably my number one motivator. Two is you get tired of, not being able to reach very far. So I enabled long reach. I have probably a dozen. In fact, here they all are. Mods I'm using. I'm not a fan of RSO, but I do like long range. Actually, I missed the map generator from 15. That was so far my favorite. I'm really not a fan of. Okay, so this is beautiful, sort of roughly 60-65% land and 35 or so percent water. Then we come look at RSO / 16 and you just see this ugly looking water smattering of giant pancake ores. It's just like yeah, that's why I'm using it. Though the only thing I'm using out of it is these sunglasses. Advanced solar. Well, I'll bring up the panels. Okay, the upgrade to regular solar panels is advanced solar panels. And they are 5 times more efficient per panel. But then there's also elite solar panels, which is an additional 5 times more efficient. So one solar panel is equivalent to 25 regular solar panels. And they look like this. And there's equivalent accumulators. They're a rather long time quite to make, but I just felt for the longest time like you could have a nuclear plant like this, zoom in enough, and it's 1.4 gigawatts. I know it's complex, I know it's beautiful and all these kind of things, and in fact I like them if they weren't so UPS hungry, or at least theoretically UPS hungry. I'm no expert on it, but okay, so yes, space conserving in the solar panels. So basically, with regular solar panels, this giant block is 1.2 gigawatts. And that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous how much space is consumed to get a gigawatt. Where 5 of these is like 1.2, or like 1 gigawatt. I think just 5 of these is like 1. It's not a perfect number, but it's on, just Google Factorio solar panel. It's on the Factorio wiki. I think I modified it slightly. What did I do differently? I'm not sure. I think this is the exact same thing as the one on the wiki. I had one that didn't have these, but I think the wiki has these now. And then I just, through Upgrade Planner, changed to the Elite. Oh. Yeah. Don't know where that went. I got that from a multiplayer game. Somebody used it in an explosive gaming map. Well, thank you. Yeah, I probably haven't zoomed out all the way. This is the entire thing. Yeah, most games, when I play multiplayer games, you usually get one person that drives way over here and, settles way out here. And so you have this long, track that way or something. But I don't know why people do that, but they like doing it. And then you might have, a spike going another way. But what we're after right now is I need to get iron ore to our new build. Spawn water? I don't know what that means. Oh, uh, you know, it's funny. I mentioned that to somebody once, like, oh, why don't I, why don't you just go with like, there's a mod where you can, do pump water. Um, but this one guy who owns one of the big server farms for Factorio mentioned, well, why don't you just, I mean, trains are so fun. Well, just have a very small lake, you start with, and then pump water into trains and ship that everywhere. And I thought, well, that's a cool idea. I haven't done it, but it's a cool idea. Well, there are, like there's landfill. Well, there's mods that are water fills. Right. And that's what I was talking about. You have a small lake or something, you pump it into a train, and you ship that water everywhere to, sulfuric acid posts and refineries and whatever. It's okay. What you got to do, though, is probably the easiest thing. What you would do is I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it terribly well, but let's create a pump. I imagine this is rather quite quick. I wonder if that would go straight into a tank. But if you put the tank, oops. No, it doesn't go straight. Yeah, that's too bad. But you could do. Let's grab a pump out of there. Yep. My chest has pumps. Watch how fast this fills up. I mean, it'll be fast. If it connects. Did it connect? When did it connect? Maybe it's going to actually be connected to a train. But it would have to be at a station of some kind. Let's see if we put station there. Jesse. There you go. Watch how fast this fills up. It's pretty fast, and you could probably do multiple pumps. You could do 3 pumps per train car. Well, if you did my bridge mod, or you did, landfill in a straight line, you could get trains in a line like this. And it's a decent rate. You know, you get, like I said, 3 of these in here. You know, and maybe if you're lucky enough, you could do it double-sided, or you could pipe it in double-sided. But it could be done. Okay, well, then maybe you go solar. I mean, you're the one who's talking about doing low spawn water. I thought I'd just help you out with that, but it's up to you. So we are going to need to start a number of trains. I forgot about that. So that's 2 trains. That's going to be quite a number of trains. And I don't have the fuel necessarily. Let's stick that down there. There's a mod that's just water pumps. Like, you know, it looks like basically like a pump jack, but it pumps water. And so it's like a well. And it does it for you. If that's what you want to do, you can do it. And I can't open my mods folder, but I might even have one. I just don't have it enabled for this game. I've got plenty of water, and connecting water through pipes, yes, it's kind of a pain, but it's actually part of the fun too. So anyways, I need to, let's head out to northeast 1, 2 east. Well, one of those things would require like 16 trains. It already requires 14 pumps. There's 7 pumps to a side. So yeah, but I'm trying to move to solar. Solar is probably the most EPS friendly. Thanks for the follow, Breathless. Wakato, thank you, or welcome. Sorry, I didn't realize you had mentioned that this is the biggest base you had ever seen. Sometimes I get tunnel vision on who's chatting. So for y'all just joining, just expanded the steel mill here, added 4 new outposts today, and this build is going to take iron ore instead of iron plate and produce steel from that. It's the same blueprint, I've just made it so these requester chests in the middle take iron ore, and then everything else remains the same. Might have to tweak some things, but I think I figured it right, because basically iron ore to iron plate is going to be produced 5 times faster than steel plate. So we basically save for what's the way to say it, for forges, right. We're just going to move out this direction. Is that uranium? Yeah. Set up a few outposts. Probably going to go after that. And these, at least this one and that one. But I also want to set a waypoint out here. And look at the horrible it's the right thing. Sometimes my brain just stops thinking. Signals. I originally set up these tracks to have signals like the whole length of a train. And I also like to be able to walk through the middle of the track so I don't get run down. It's really the GPS, or UPS. I mean, my GTX 1080 could easily handle 144 frames a second, so it's Factorio that limits it. Yeah, free supplies. This is definitely an old build if it's got red belt. Oh my goodness. I don't think I had any red. Belt's still going. What number is you? Gotta be like low number, 42. Yeah. Must have been pretty sizable at once. And apparently I removed a power pole. What about this guy over here? This was a pretty sizable build at 1.2. Lack of signals is deplorable. I mean, kind of acceptable considering how far away from the center of the base this is, but the rest is good. Freaking forest. See you, Breathless. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the fall. Catch you next time. I want to next? E11W. That's that way. Yeah. Come on, dude. Go, 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 go. He's going to run into that guy. Alright. No. Ton of wood I want to get rid of. Signal problems exist up here too. When I originally built most of my base, at least of course the older sections of it, my blueprints for track was sparse. Unless it's going to get ripped up. Place this one. That up. I'm probably going to need to back it up a slight edge more. Oops. This one needs to go down to the bottom edge. Heck. Really? Alright, well, back up a second. Alright. Probably not going to need all that, but I need to fix these track over here though. Okay, then we can, I don't know if I left enough room for a station though. I have to do it on the south side, I think. I don't think it'll fit here. Actually, it will. Barely. Maybe. south side will work. We do this probably right there. Just wondering if we're going to have to move these poles. Real question's going to be not so much that, but oops, go the wrong way. This. I need a little landfill. Could go right there. I mean, it's right up against the door, but real question's going to be, all right, what size is that? 2.8 mil. Be a little creative with this. Need some of this. Well, because it's going to have some stone, and I don't want the stone. I knew I'd forget something. Didn't bring enough chess. Okay, and then we can do the rest. Right. Oh, that's probably gonna have some stone there. Can't do that there. I have to go up a level. Okay, and actually I want to create a, which I kind of forgot to do. Right here. So wooded right here. Oh, I gotta name those. So this is northeast 1, 2 east. Yeah, this is northeast 1, 2 east. I wish these were similar to the east, but we'll just use this one, and we'll change this to a 2 to a 3. Okay, and we can name this station, which needs a radar, which I guess we yanked or something. All right. Iron ore. 93. Northeast 1, 3 east. Did we put bots in here yet? Nope. Here on our train. Train. Grab some fuel. I didn't want all of it, just wanted half. Fine. Should I have enough fuel for all? Not really. Well, actually kind of have to. Yeah, doesn't matter either way. So this is iron ore 93. 3 fold. And then we want to go to IO. Oops. Space. Tory empty. It should. Okay, until I don't get my train out of the way. And we'll start a second one at the same place. Okay. Then don't think actually I might be able to create this other one. It's going to be this spot up here. It's the easiest way to do this. Go in here and kind of use the other track. split from like right there to go up. So I don't think I want to create a, well, you know, at some point I probably will. I'll create a line up that way. Because I might as well do it now if I'm gonna. Which means this might be in the wrong place. Actually, it's okay, I think. I suppose I should get that science going. Just a smidge too close. Let's set this over here because I want to be able to copy it if I didn't. Paste it. All right. So we ought to be able to then that down right there. Come on, get in the train, dude. There you go. Except for I'm on the wrong side of the track now. It's okay. We head up. Nobody's gonna care. Which track do I got on me? Not enough to fool around. So many trees. So many trees. I can't move. Trees, go away. Right. So you like that. So okay, yeah. Great. We don't have power. Good. Mining. Oh, I keep forgetting to do it. Put down a storage chest. Of course, they're going to want to take all my wood. Can't quite do it. So we need a storage chest down here. Because I use a mod called Auto Deconstruct. And when a miner runs out, it gets marked for decon, and near roboports, it starts blinking if there's an X on anything. So we need power to all these. Some bots. Another train. So trains. Also need to arm that. We also need to name this guy. Iron 94. Did we name this? Oh, we named it 94. This one's 93. This one's 94. And steal and load, inventory empty. I guess we have to move the train. Let's give me enough distance. Right. Start walking across before the train had finished stop moving. Too much fuel on hand. 4 trains. It's far not nearly enough, not even close enough. What we need. So as that train goes in, actually we can go to artillery turnaround. The reason I can do 2 trains on everything here is because, even though it says 2.4 million, it's really 24 million plus because of my productivity level. I'm at over 1100 mining productivity total, including the 100% you start with. Let's kind of look at this. All right, some of this, for some reason, had some iron plate in it, so we're going to have to take a look at that. Coming back out here. See, that was really the only one that had that problem. 4 on either end should have. Doing steel only, but some of these in here aren't working because somehow they got iron plate into them. And they're waiting on a 5th to make steel. And 4 iron trains is not nearly enough. Not nearly enough to saturate all 4 of these outposts. But the way I designed it is, you know, as soon as any one of these stations has enough to, you know, load up a steel train will come in. Last episode we activated any science, so I just want to see how it's doing. It's still producing or consuming 3K a minute. That's almost double what we were before. And considering we're not really using all the science here. I mean, all these are active, but we don't have enough low density structures to supply that whole thing. Alright, so we need to start at least 4 more. Probably do much more than 4. And all this iron out here is available. Just kind of get tracked to it. These little patches. I wish they were bigger, even though multiplied times 10, they're still like, that's 2 million and 5 million and 6 million, so they're technically enough. I wouldn't want to put more than one train on them though. Oh, on that note, let's grab a whole bunch of chests this time. Well, pots are going to bring them to me anyways now. Miners. We don't use them. We'll just stick them back in our storage. It's not that big a deal. And I should take some extra track this time. Fuel doing. Let's just request from our master chest. All right. Roboports, maybe another stack or two. And how are we on bots? Don't have any. So we ought to go after some of these things. Kind of a lot of work, but kind of just put in one train everywhere. Or we go after one that's bigger. I don't know. I do want to get these other things mined up. I mean, everywhere I technically do. East 1-3 west. So anybody want to guess how many trains we've gonna have after we get this set up? So even though these things are creating... Oh, that's right. I need to actually go buy the steel. Why are you not moving? You're just slow. Well, this one's already backed up, so that's kind of neat to see. Well, it's also because a lot of these aren't actually making iron plate. So I don't know what's the right method to do this. Just drop in an extra iron plate for everyone. It's not making iron plate. Those are all now making iron plate. I'm gonna go through there. Weird how they all have 4. Alright, they all should be good. So the way I calculated it, a really iron plate should be slightly more productive than steel. So only this last outpost hasn't seen any activity yet, but as we add more trains, they will, or it will. Where were we going before? There. Okay. This sort of traffic jam as these trains try to go this direction is interesting. Wow, look at this. Sheesh. Probably gonna have to come up to it with a solution for that. Trying to think it out. I was wondering if I should go after that one. You are making it obnoxious. Trees, trees, trees. Well, I guess. Yeah, let's make the trains do that. Actually, let's face it the other way. It's actually a really good idea. So used to, we're only going one way into the base, but guess we're out of stations. Let's create a temporary track so I can get my train out of here. Parking spot for my train. If I can start 2 trains and it's not blocking. Just need to delete that. Gotta be careful that this is got a roboport 2, that I don't cross boundaries. You know what, did I did. Alright, good. I wonder if I'd put a storage chest there, but I had. Before I forget. Let's do one here. Oh, duh. Can't just have the storage chest, need a constructor bot. Logistics won't pick up things. I'm not doing any money. Logistics. Up. It's gone. So this is 95. 95. Northeast, 1, 2, west. Since this is such a main track, even though it's a fairly sizable ore patch, I think I'm only going to put one train. There's no stacker, and all trains would have to get stuck waiting for this guy. Can I? Why can't I open you? Full. And IO. Empty. So I suppose I could have left my train on here. And I need to add a T-arm. I suppose, well, that's, how far a walk is that? Kind of sizable. This will be done in a second. It'd be hilarious to mine that, even though it's like 1 million. No. Don't give me iron ore. Just remember that at the last second. Suppose I can just stick it in there. There we go. Did it take it from me already? Okay. It's stuck it in there. That's what happened. Okay. But we need a construction bot, right? 3. Yes. And we can go car first into that spot. That's fine. It's fine. We don't have to actually go in there. We just need to put a bot back in there. Okay. I was going to work on figuring over down here, but since we're here, might as well tap this stuff. Kind of awkward, but we can do it. Hey, Tim Durave, thanks for the follow, man. Glad you're enjoying the stream here. This one's a little awkward. Really? It's alright, we can do an angled. Done an angle in a while, and I can't do an angle. These tracks are too far. It's alright. We can do it manually. Tim the Rave. Sweet. Well, I can remember that. $2.15 zombie. But it is a Friday night. There's actually a mod that I really thought a Roboport wagon would really be nice for. It's like, I forget what the mod's called, but it's like God mode, and you play. You don't actually have a character you run around with, and I thought, gosh, without a wagon that you would be to do that with, it would be hard. I think it kind of messes up. Stick that there. At 6 a.m. Alright, that was way further back than I needed to go. Oh, I'm kind of low on fuel. I have more trains. That's quite an ambitious plan. I hope you have a good time doing that. I got 12 more fuel here. I don't know what I'm waiting on here. Oh, need to name this or edit. 86 inventory full. Yes. Yes, I can see that. Did we add this DRM? I'm going to say no. Oh, there's 2 trains still coming here. It keeps track of them. Let me scroll way out so you can read it. Keeps all my ore patches totaled, so I know exactly how much ore is left on any one of them. Though unfortunately, you can't scroll this window, so there's a whole ton of them past below this, the bottom here, that I can't get to. But you can click an eye on any one of them, and you can be taken right to it. So when one starts to run low and I have it marked at 2%, it shows up on my smaller list, and then I know that that station needs attention, or the trains going to it need further instructions. So I started 2 trains here, yes. Whoa. An early riser, are you, Tim the Rave? Of course they do. I think I removed them. No, I didn't. Where did I leave them? I recently moved my stuff. How's this guy? 8,000 kills. 7,000 kills. 5,000 kills. Of course, since removing pollution, I get a whole lot less attacks, but I tried doing that, it didn't help any. Well, I opened up the cheat mod, creative mode, and destroyed all biter bases, and it didn't help me 1 iota UPS wise. So I'd rather leave them in the game. got some more chests on my train. I do. Power poles, could use some. Oh, you could use some trains too. We need a name for you too. 96, but in this case, 97. So we can start 2 more trains. Yep. Need a little bit more fuel for that. You know, could do a little stacker if I'm going to do 3 trains here. I could always just try destroying biters again, but they're not doing anything. If they're not being aggroed by pollution, they don't do anything. Occasionally, I think they move in and try to resettle some ground, and so my artillery takes care of them, but they're not attacking. Except for, you know, if they try to reclaim ground that's actually within the base, but I think the way their algorithm works, I read somewhere that they don't actually do that. Alright, that's what have we roughly created? Let's see. 3 trains there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 on this one over here. 10 trains for the new steel outpost. Oh, should probably create a radar down there. Yep. A little better if I did it. Right spot. There. Shoot, the stacker's not big enough. That's not going to work then, is it? Three trains all using one set of track. It's not horrible because there's nothing else down here. I'll just stack up on the main track. It's not horrible. Interestingly enough, we are actually backed up here. But trains aren't coming in here. Wow, look at that. It's in the wrong spot. Still don't know why a train's not coming in here, though. It's that right there. I'll remove that. Pathing to get out of there. That's ugly too. noticed that before. But wanted to talk to me. He could probably get out an iron ore 97 for some reason. Maybe can't be gotten to. Well, we can fix this other thing down here. You don't want a green signal there actually at all. We actually need to fix other things down there. Oh, don't need rail signal. Well, that's there too. Sheesh. So I duplicated that in there. Not horrible, but train didn't go in there. Good. For some reason, this 97 train is not going back. I have 3 97 trains. Let's see if that one will go back. No, he's stuck too. So there's something in going to 97 that they're stuck on. And that was that new track section past the artillery outpost. So, and I didn't tear up all the trees to get there, and had some old track. So it's kind of a combination of that, I expect. I just have some rails not facing the right direction. So we can't go to 97, but we should be able to go to artillery outpost 7. Now if I look at this from here, we can see all the signals. We should be able to go there. I mean, artillery outpost 7 should be doable. Right, so it is. So it's something in this somehow. It's that right there. There's a signal on this side of the track, and we can't see it because of the trees. And it looks like there's a signal there too. So it's making it one-way track that way, and the trains can't get back in. This one. This copper mine isn't this this has roboports. So I'm going to stick that PV right there. Give it a construction bot. And a storage unit. Those will all stop blinking. Stop. Dean really wants you to go reindeer. No, you can't have my stuff. So we remove that and one right here. And the trains will flow. At least I hope they're flowing. Yep. But they're not completely backed up again. So probably could use more iron ore flow into it. This needs some work. Where's my guy at? Could theoretically go to steel stations again. Need to work on this exit. It's just too many trains trying to go. Probably should have grabbed some track. Actually, I didn't think I would brought track, did I? I got a bit, but not a ton. So I'm thinking a couple things. I don't know if I got enough for this, but So if train wants to make a left-hand turn up down here, it's going to get on this new one. New track I'm building here. Wants to make a right-hand turn. We'll do the original track. First, I suppose I gotta do this intersection. Suppose that should be a should do that there too. Change signal. Have this track here. I thought so. Kind of like to bring this in there to make that decision. wonder if I may put in too many rail signals. I'm sure that possibly a detriment to UPS as well. I know it kind of speeds up trains, but I'm not sure. One of the things I could do is create a bypass this way, like for those that are gonna go up and right, but can't imagine a lot of trains doing that, at least from this outpost. Well, actually, no, I take that back. The iron ore that I just put in would all do that. Which tractor I got 100 and some. Oops. Zombie, you still in here? Or anybody? I'm just curious. What the other day we are having difficulties with lag in chat. It's over 2 hours in the stream. I was just curious if it's still that way as the stream gets longer, delays longer. I'm pretty much going to call it a stream right now, but I was just curious if anybody is there. I'll try to chat and see if something showed up. Of course, if it's like a 5-minute delay and I ask now and nobody says anything, how do I know, right? Or if somebody says something and it is a 5-minute delay. Again, how would I know? I can sit and watch this for a little bit. There's definitely stations I could clean up, but look at space science down here. Sitting at 190K. Our science build. This train still has 37K on it. So after starting our new science build, I let all the science packs just sort of flow in for a little bit before limiting the chess. Wondering how much impact that's had on my base. I'm sure it's done something. I suppose I haven't looked at science or at chips. So yeah, we're down to 200K average. I think it was at 300K, so it's gone down about 100K. So we, used 400K there. We were at about 800K blue chips. We're at 700K blue chips, so we're doing pretty good. Green circuit's probably doing fine. Almost 300K times 6. Yeah, that's doing good. And green chips in the south. 400K, so that's another 1600. Copper in the south. 250K. So that's a lot, 1.5 million. Iron ore in the south. 100K. This was hurting for a bit, so I don't remember if this has gone up or down. We're sitting at about 800,000 iron there. A little bit more here. Probably close to 9 to 1 million iron sitting there. But look at all these iron trains waiting for supplies. I like the looks of this build. Seems like we fixed the traffic jam leading out. Just with that little spur there. Oh, I didn't think about this, but the iron ore train leading out of here is going to come up, cross, and do a U-turn. Probably should have made a way for him to come up in like this. Yeah, that's him right there. Oh well. Probably should have put chain signal there. guess nobody heard my question. There's a ton of people in the channel. My software says there's 0 viewers. I don't know. I guess it's really up to Twitch what they say, but on the road to affiliate, maybe be able to get better streaming quality. Anyways, I'm calling it a night all. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.